Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, it's very bright and sunny. Last time I was playing Counter-Strike. This time I actually want to talk about the major. We have it coming up in just a few days. What we're 5 days away. 5 days away. I got to move into my new apartment, so next time the background will probably be different after stage one. But I kind of want to make this video going through my picks, my predictions on what stage one's going to look like, kind of give you my pick'ems in a way, but also trying to map out the bracket and see what these matchups might lead to. A big thing overall is going to be luck. We're talking about BO1s, and a BO1, it could go either way. It's like trying to predict which way the bouncy ball is going to drop on like a octagonal shape. It's going to be weird, bro. You think you could probably, line it up. Gamer Legion, you've got to beat them. But who knows, actually. I hope to have some, upsets on the list and kind of make things interesting, and we'll see how it goes. But I think a lot of this is formulaic. You're gonna look at some teams and just be like, "Hey, man, like, congrats on making it. You got your sticker. Sad they didn't make a capsule um, this time around, which I hope to make a video about talking about, the capsule situation and everything going on in that regard. So. But without further ado, let's get into that bracket. And we got NRG versus Gamer Legion. This one is, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to pick Gamer Legion. They're number 11 in the world right now. They're playing so well. I think against NRG, Nitro doesn't really have a chance. I did have some notes about this. The Fragadelphia revenge back in Fragadelphia, Miami. NRG actually won 2-0, if I'm not mistaken, is what I had written down. Overall, give me Gamer Legion. It's a BO1. I think I'm just going to take them. Okay, now moving into the next one, we got Tai Lu versus Bait. Mark your calendar, say the time. This is going to be a certified Hayden check mark right here on one that you should watch. Tai Lu, a strong team in Asia. Um, recently competing. They have the talent. They face international teams. They're not slackers. I think that this line at 71% for Bait should probably be a little bit thinner. Bait, though, a really good team. I think number 15 in the world, right? 16. I had it wrong in my notes. Bait, you know, they're quietly climbing. Just day, tournament after tournament, playing well. NPL's a young talent, but talking about contenders wise, JM Young is nobody to play with. You're talking about a BO1 where you're just going to be a shootout. This game is going to be really close. I can see this being a 13-11 type of game or just a game that goes to overtime. Saying that, though, I got Bait winning this because I'm taking them 3-0. Saying that, they're more rested, I think. They're more prepared for the moment. They're going to be closer in there to town and Cologne. So for that reason, I'm going to take Bait, but this is one that you got to sit down and watch no matter what. Okay, now looking at this next game, we got Heroic versus Shark. Shark's a Brazilian team, I think ranked number 50 in the world. This is a rebuilt Heroic roster with a lot of hope and young star. Being someone who can continue his dominant performances that he's had, going against a team that's very much unproven competition wise. A big thing I'd say here is that the Sharks have a lineup that's just more cemented. But if I'm going based on a one game stunt, I think Heroic has this. I don't think Sharks might be down for the count. I think it just depends on how the bracket goes. Definitely a strong contender though for 03, just considering if we take a look down here, like it's 9Z, it's Inner Circle, it's Focus, and they're losing the Inner Circle and Focus. They're beating up on some of these other teams. They took Big Clan apparently 1-2. I didn't know about that, but so for that reason, I'm going to go Heroic though, just because I think the Young Star aim performance will be enough to take Heroic right over the edge. Okay, moving into this next matchup is Bet Boom versus Gladiators. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm watching Bet Boom or Gladiators. I don't even think I'll watch this match. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to be honest with you about that. I'm gonna take Bet Boom to win here, just because I think that they are more proven. Yeah, as you see, number 17 in the world. I think my notes were really simple about this. Is taking Bet Boom, Bomble. They're highly favored here. His veteran leadership, paired with just fragging power from his team, is I think enough. Um, Now with Gladiators having some Brazilian legends, maybe something hidden one and them can make something happen. But I don't think they're going to get past Bet Boom in this BO1. But I do think if they do, they're a scary contender to keep going. Okay, moving into my favorite matchup of stage one. In round one, check your box for this one. Another Hayden certified check. This is the game that everybody's most excited for. I think everybody's excited to see Bait versus Tyloo this game, and I think the The Gamer Legion game is going to be exciting to see what Gamer Legion can do. I'm an NA guy, so obviously I'm just going to be upfront. I'm choosing Liquid here. Big Clan is great. Coming off knocking FaZe out of the major. FaZe Clan. Knocking them out of major contention, not even going to be able to play here. Their Big Clan does have the overall favorite. Some of the stuff I had is that home turf advantage is here for Big Clan. Now Liquid might get there and get enough rest. But Big Clan, it's not like there's going to be any fans in the crowd or anything. The Blame F factor is going to be huge here. Playing against those tier 1 opponents and everything and having them here for this moment is huge. Now, the thing is that this roster is a little shaky right now. Um, so the big thing I'd say is that take mobs wherever and have them just drill in. Have them drill in on the stand-in, because I think if you do that, you kind of create a little bit of a defect, especially on those CT sides. And we're talking about a BO1, so that can really be exploited depending on where we play with somebody who's so nerdy, like a Liege being behind the PC, the mouse and keyboard, to lead this teams. I have faith that they're going to win this one. It's going to be an upset. People are saying it's Big Clan. We're going to shit on Liquid all day, but look, if Ultimate can hit the op shots, Shishui can actually lock in. I think a Liege is always going to be nerdy and ready, and Mobs is just a great gun from G2. They can do this. They can win this game. So for that reason, I'm taking Team Liquid. Now, do we think that they're going to end up winning it all? No, I don't think they're going to. But they got this game, in my opinion. Okay, moving to another one of my very anticipated matchups because I'm excited, in a fanboy here. Love Lake. Love to see M80 play. Loved Lin Vision last major as a team from Asia who really came out and put belt to ass, no doubt. Um, for talking about this, of course, we got Swisher, Jaba, Lake, we got Slacks, we got Sin, just guys who are ready to come out and play. Um, Lin Vision, though, is no doubt a team that you got to worry about. I don't think you can come in here and start sleeping on it. Lin Vision, though, is a team with no doubt you can't come in and just start sleeping on them. You can't, M80 can't come into this game and be like, it's going to be another game. It's not another game. This is Lin Vision. This is a team that is shown that they'll rise to the occasion. Amelia QAQ, another great personality on the enemy team. Now, M80 recently has shown some decent performances, which is why, not only because of my fandom, why I'm leaning to them. You see over here, it's just a lot of losses in the columns. Recently, going on though is M80 on kind of a weird streak, but last major they kind of proved themselves a little bit. They have in some other tournaments that they're here to play, they're here to win. Um, but my NA fandom is going to lead me to taking M80. Okay, next one. It's going to be MIBR versus Thunder Down Under, and I got to pull my notes up for this one because while this might not be a checkmark go watch, it's going to be a weird one. The Brazilian favorites here are coming in at like rank 19 or something in the world, rank 20 with Clem. These guys, they can no doubt pull this off, but I don't think this is a rapid in the bag one. You got Aussie Grit here coming in. Dexter's here to play. Um, when I'm thinking about how this game is going to go, if we're talking about a BO1, I don't feel safe picking either of these teams. Obviously, Thunder Down Under don't have the EU competition to play against, but neither does MIBR. I mean, they're playing some Asian teams, some EU teams. They're getting it done, but have been underwhelming. So I'm wondering, against an opponent that's kind of unknown. It's this unknown factor. Will they be able to get it done? I still think I'm going to end up taking them more than not because it's kind of a safe bet. And so overall, a safe bet is the one I'll take. MIBR, I think Thunder Down Under, a lot of people have just marked 3-0. I've never seen this team before. Why would I care? I don't, or not 3-0, an 0-3. I don't think they're an 0-3. I think they're one you should keep your eyes on. I just think in this best of one, getting their feet down in Cologne, getting ready to play. MIBR has done this before. Thunder Down Under have not. So for that reason, I'm going to take MIBR in this first game. Okay, last but not least at all, this is an interesting matchup on paper. We got Number 30 Sinners going against number 78 or something, FlyQuest. I mean, they are low. Sorry, 56. I got my number swapped, I guess. Uh, and they're 32 now, VRS wise. But JKS here, I think it's like kind of a slower ranking than what you might expect for this team for FlyQuest. A team that has been here before, right? They're no strangers to being on a major stage, playing in stage ones. They do it all the time. I mean, since Shanghai. And they've always impressed me within their first few games. Sinners, though, as a team that's been quietly climbing, which is great for them. And they're here now, and they're here to make a statement in a one game scenario, and this, help them with bracket seedings. I could see either of these teams being a 3-2 team. But one's got to win this one, and my gut is just leaning me FlyQuest. Centers, it's no disrespect to them in any capacity as a EU team. Kind of what I was saying though is that for Thunder Down Under, they haven't been to this stage before. They're not here like that. That's the opposite with FlyQuest. They're used to this travel. They're used to going in there and having to do it. And so getting into Cologne, I think these guys can get settled in, and Story can make an impact, and JKS can be there, and they can get real nerdy and win this game out against some hardcore aimers. So for that reason, I'll take FlyQuest. Okay, so now laid out before you is the bracket of how I think it's going to go down. Now we got some more to choose. I just mean the round one side as I'm pointing to it. You can't see where I'm pointing, but the round one side is decided. So now we get to kind of see the round two matchups. A lot of this I'm unironically thinking about keeping. So Gamer Legion versus Fly. We're going to put locks on the ones I think are okay. There you go. Those are all locked. So moving this around, I'm gonna take Gamer Legion. That way we know this is the one I'm picking. It's done. Moving down, Bait versus Team Liquid. I'm gonna take Bait. MIBR versus Heroic. I think I'm gonna take Heroic there. Um, M80 versus BetBoom. This would be great for them if they could get into this scenario. If they get into this scenario, this is perfect for M80. Big Clan versus Thunder Down Under. I'm gonna go with Big Clan. Sinners versus Lin Vision. I'm gonna take Lin Vision. NRG versus Imperium or the Gladiators. I'm gonna go NRG to win this one. And Ty Lee versus Sharks. I'm gonna take the Sharks. So remember how we talked about the 3-0s? I think it's Gamer Legion and Bait. I think Heroic is going to get a fluky run here to get there. You know what I mean? They're going to have a fluky run to end up getting there. But overall, Gamer Legion is going to dominate Heroic if we were even to get to this point. This bracket can be busted in 1 hour, and into the day. Gamer Legion can lose to NRG, and then all of our picks are fucked. But just this hypothetical world where I'm looking at these games on paper, I think Gamer Legion is definitely going there. Now, if this bait M80 game happens, man, how good would that be? How fun would that be to watch? It would be so good. I would take Bait overall, but M80, I just love them. Team Liquid versus FlyQuest. I think Team Liquid, this is a good pick here. I think they come back and they would win that game after taking a loss to Bait. FlyQuest would be, playing talent that they definitely could win against. Team Liquid is not, known to be a surefire bet every time. So going to BetBoom versus M80 or Big Clan, I'm gonna take Big Clan. I think Big Clan is one of my 3-1s. I think they're good. I don't think that they're gonna have a worry to get to stage 2. Hopefully I don't bite the bullet there. MIBR versus Lin Vision, the Brazilians versus the Chinese team. I'm gonna go Lin Vision here. They made that deep run last time. Legacy's in stage 2. They're kind of their brother team of the last major, doing that run with them. So for that reason, I'm gonna take Lin Vision. Forgot to lock these up. Sorry about that. Ty Lue versus NRG. I'm going to take Ty Lue. NRG definitely doesn't have what it takes. Nitro is old, and I don't think he's going to win that one out. I almost didn't even want to put the Gladiators losing to them, but I definitely see that veteran leadership coming out for a game against a younger team. But a team like Ty Lue, who is, we're not new to this, is what they're saying. I think that's where it comes in. And this is where the Australians make it happen. Remember how I told you, I don't think the Thunder Down Under is this 0-3 team everybody says. I don't think that that's going to be the case. And I'm making it not the case. I think they beat Sharks. I think Sharks is an 0-3 team. I do not think they have what it takes. And when you're talking Sinners Gladiators, I'm taking Sinners every time in that. On a pure aim duel, I'm just going to take Sinners. It's hard for them. The FlyQuest matchup is the close one. If FlyQuest were to win and they go against Lin Vision, it's not close, which puts them in the scenario, and then they get a team like that, and this is where I think that they could start making a run. I'm gonna kind of work opposite now on the board, and like look at the Sinners MIBR matchup. Like I'm talking about a game that's gonna be close. This one's gonna be really close, and in this game I might just take Sinners overall. Going into NRG versus Bet Boom, I'm probably taking Bet Boom versus NRG. And this would be the classic of stage one. FlyQuest versus Thunder Down Under. I mean, can you imagine it? The two Australian teams that want to be brothers and make it here together and have to go against each other to send one down to the 1-3 bracket. And in this game, I'm taking Thunder Down Under. I'm not taking FlyQuest in that game. Big Clan versus Heroic. I'm gonna take Big Clan. I think Big Clan. This is where they lock it in. They say, okay, we can beat Bet Boom. We're gonna beat Thunder Down Under. We can take Heroic now. The young star performances might be there, but overall, I think they got it. I'm gonna take Lin Vision as well. I think this one's kind of a wrap in the bag. And M80 versus Tai Lu, I'm gonna kind of keep the same. And I'm gonna take M80. That's some NA bias. Tai Lu's definitely, if we get to this point, could win that game. And this is where it kind of comes down to which teams make it and which teams don't. And when you're looking at it, it's going to be hard. I think, let's just go with the one I know. I know Tai Lu, I think, is going to win this game. If it were to happen. Heroic, it'd be incredible if they didn't do it. But I think this is what my lineup's going to look like. Because, there's always that underdog who makes it. And for some reason, I just see Thunder Down Under being that 3-2 team. That just makes it. I see Team Liquid. This is just totally a spot for Team Liquid. It's just so hard because they could maybe win that Lin Vision game and put Lin Vision in that spot against Thunder Down Under, right? If that were the case, it'd be Lin Vision versus Thunder Down Under, which I would take Lin Vision. But overall, I think this is what I'm going to be looking. I don't know. This one's a coin toss. You know what? I'll do my NA bias. I'll choose Liquid and say Thunder Down Under. Sadly, don't get to make it. But if you ask me in my heart of hearts, do I believe that? I tell you, I actually don't know. So this is what my bracket 1 is looking like. If we took this over to stage 2 and just kind of did, little thing. Obviously, we all think that the actual result of all this will be this right here. So, at the end of the day, we're all just waiting to watch Vitality stomp someone out. But it's fun for this first part. Saying that though, I think if we're talking about winners and losers of stage 1, Team Liquid has the most to lose, and honestly the least to gain. You make it stage 2, it's like good job. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Why aren't we here every time? Why are we already here? Why is a team that has this money invested in this roster here, and you're talking about M80, huge win to get 3-1. That'd be a big win in my books. Gamer Legion 3-0 would kind of cement themselves as like, hey, don't mess around. And like, let's go look at stage 2. If Gamer Legion is going to be the one to survive that, and I'm looking at Gamer Legion versus Team Spirit. I mean, that's a matchup for round 1 in a BO1. And you take it down further down the line, if like they're going against a decider, they're going to get eliminated. If it's them versus 9Z, come on, you're telling me you're taking 9Z over Gamer Legion? 9Z isn't a bad team or anything. I'm just taking Gamer Legion. That being said, though, that's my stage 1 predictions. So these would kind of be my pick'ems. They kind of already are my pick'ems. I got Gladiators and Sharks being eliminated 0-3. I got FlyQuest, MIBR, NRG getting eliminated 1-3 or 2-3. In the pick'ems, it doesn't really matter. Teams I get advancing would be M80, Big Clan, Lin Vision, Team Liquid, Heroic, and Tai Lu, with my 3-0 being Bait and Gamer Legion. Now, with all that out of the way, today's date, as I'm saying, this is June 2nd, which means today was the first day of the major. Going through some of those games was the FlyQuest game, the Team Liquid Big Clan game, and the Gamer Legion game, all of which I predicted correctly. Not to brag, not to brag. I hope to, in the following days, to come up with a video going over every single Game 1 matchup, all the BO1s. I already did my predictions of the BO3s coming up. Obviously, my bracket now isn't correct with some of the wins, like MIBR losing. So we'll do a full recap of Stage 1 once it's over, and we'll roll that into our prediction for Stage 2. Thank you so much for watching.